Meatheads, we are back with another bonus episode of Cookin Meat, right here in beautiful Los Angeles, at my very good friend Dave's vacation house. We've worked everything out, finally had a great conversation, and I have explicit permission to use this kitchen whenever I'm in town. So I thought I'd come on by to make amends for the last time, give you another bonus episode, and take an actual vacation with my family. So we're gonna make this episode quick because I wanna get back down to the beach, and you said we can have some beers later at the pier? All right, yeah, it's Cookin Meat. Cookin Meat with Chef Pat, let's go! All right, meatheads, we got another special one for you. Since we're by the beach, we're gonna do a little bit of ocean meat. We are gonna combine a couple different things. This is the fun part about cooking. Once you kind of understand recipes and flavors and all this stuff, you can kind of combine things. So we're gonna do one of my scallop dishes. We're gonna do a bastard child of like a British parsley liquor sauce kind of thing. And we're gonna go throw it all together because I feel like it's all gonna work, and we're gonna try it, and if it's not, you'll never know because you're not gonna taste it. So first thing we're gonna do, we're just gonna sear some scallops and put some crispy prosciutto on it. Crispy prosciutto. This is really easy. We're just gonna throw a couple of slabs onto a baking sheet. You can put it right on this wax paper. It actually works pretty good. The oven is preheated to 350, and this takes about 15 minutes or so, 20 minutes. Kind of have to watch it. Let's do 3 so we have a little extra to munch on. Crisp this up, put that in the oven just like that. Prosciutto. We're gonna throw this in here. Crisp that up. We want to get down to the beach. All right, come on, let's get going. Let's get going. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make some polenta. Polenta is like a cornmeal-based gruel, like an oatmeal or like grits, cream of wheat, but we're gonna kind of make it a savory one for our scallops. I bought pre-made polenta mix. You can make it from scratch. It's basically one more step and you get the raw cornmeal. And I think it's like 1 part cornmeal to like 4 parts water or stock. You just boil it for a long time until it's kind of mushy, and then you kind of make your polenta from there. We're gonna skip all that, and we're just gonna take the pre-mixed stuff and just throw it in with some milk, because again, I have beers to drink. Slice this open. This is what it would be if you had boiled the cornmeal and the water to like this paste. And then from here, you can kind of make it creamy or whatever you wanna do. I forgot to do that, so let's start doing that now. We're gonna roast a jalapeno. Because we want this a little creamy, we're gonna add a little milk, and then just add a little salt. We're gonna add some roasted jalapeno once that's roasted. Add a little milk. You can add chicken stock. You can add a little bit of cream. You can add a ton of butter. Scallops cook very quickly, so you don't need to try and cook them all at once because your scallops will get hard after if they sit for too long. So that'll be the last thing we're doing. So we're gonna try and get everything prepped around this. After we do the scallops, we're gonna make a quick sauce in the pan, and then we'll be done. Once the milk heats up, the butter melts, and we get it's all saturated, this will just turn into like a creamy paste, and that's exactly what we're looking for. Starting to look real polenta-like. And I'm gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper to it. Pink salt, I mean, every time, it's beautiful. Look at that, Dave. Spare no expense. All right, a little bit of fresh cracked pepper. Scallops are a great ocean meat to eat. They are rich in protein, low in fat. There's a couple different species. You can find them all over. Wherever there's an ocean, there's a scallop. They are bivalve, so they filter like other great ocean meats. Clams, mussels, oysters. Right now, what we're gonna do, we've got our roasted jalapeno. We're gonna cut out the seeds because that's where most of the spice is. One thing you gotta know about when you're handling spicy peppers like this, all that is spicy, and I just touched it all on my fingers. If I touch my eyes or my balls or my butthole with these fingers, it's gonna burn like the dickens for a long time. You're gonna have to give yourself a milk enema to stop that burn. Trust me. You'd think I'd learn that for the first time. All right, so we got the seeds out. And same thing before, roast peppers, we're gonna take all the skin off, and we're gonna mix this into the polenta. We're not gonna saute it first, can we roast it? We're just doing this real fast because it's lobster fest down at the pier, and we're fucking doing this. We're just cooking around with this fucking meat. So we got some nice, smoky, chunky jalapenos. We're gonna mix that in there. It's gonna be a nice little texture, some smoke, some heat. So we'll incorporate all that in there, and we'll let that just, oh, that's actually gonna be really good. Corn and jalapenos is one of those combos that it's a match made in heaven. It's Mesoamerica, ancient American history. Chili peppers, corn, all from the Mesoamericans. It's just like having a small taste of the history of the Americas. All right, so we're gonna leave that alone. We're gonna check on our prosciutto. It is, ooh yeah, 1 more minute and we would have lost it. We are just starting to crisp up. Stuff cooks, stuff keeps cooking after you take it out of the oven. Look at that. That's actually, I know it's smoking, but that's perfect. That's gonna be, it's almost like more salty, thinner, crispier bacon. And we're just gonna put, it like shatters like glass. And we're just gonna sprinkle it on top. It's gonna be so good. It's just gonna be just a little like a butterfly kiss. It's gonna be just the kiss of the black widow. Just a kiss from a rose. So now it's time to bust out the scallops. There are many different types of scallops. I think there's dozens of species, including the horny oyster.
I think it's thorny.
What'd I say? Kids are home from the beach. We're gonna try and do a little burn butter. You want the pan hot. If you cook this well done all the way through, they are gonna be hard and chewy. So we're gonna get this nice and hot. We're going to sear it on both sides real fast until we get a nice little crust to it. With seafood, you don't wanna bring it up to room temperature. So you gotta know that when you hit the pan, it's gonna cool it off because this is straight from the fridge. You don't wanna leave your seafood out to room temperature. See, the butter's starting to get a little brown and frothy. This is gonna be just about perfect to sear these. Watch, you'll see by the time I throw in the last scallop, it won't sear as much. We're cooling off the pan as we throw in these cold scallops. There you go. This one was frothy. These ones are not as frothy. Give that a second. We're just gonna dust it with a little salt. Fresh scallops, you don't need to do too much to. They already have such a nice, sweet flavor that I just usually put a little salt and pepper, a touch of wine. When you cook with wine, I'm telling you, the better wine you use, the better flavor. And the more wine you use, the better you feel. All right, let's get this going. That brown butter is gonna be, give it a nice little crispy crust to it. We could throw a little butter on top of all these guys, kind of get a nice glaze. There's nothing wrong with a little white wine, a little butter, a little salt. What I've lived off of most of my adult life. We're gonna give this maybe another 30 seconds, put this on a plate, and we'll finish up our sauce and be all done with it. Let's put our scallops in here for now. These are probably right around medium to medium well, and they're gonna cook for a little longer. Let them sit for a second. Then what we're gonna do, we're just gonna finish up our sauce. So we're gonna throw another batch of butter into the same pan. What we're doing now is we're basically gonna make like a bastard version of an English parsley liquor sauce. It's kind of a sauce that's usually put on a pie and mash. It's like a savory pie. So it's usually like, you know, like a beef and ale pie with mashed potatoes on the side, and then the liquor is what they call it, poured right on top. Usually made with a fish broth or a chicken broth or something like that. So what we're gonna use is we're gonna use the scallop butter. We're gonna chop ourselves some parsley real fast. It could be a rough chop. This is Italian parsley. The parsley is gonna add a real nice acidity to it. So if I didn't wanna make a parsley sauce, another option is thinking like vinegar or maybe even like a citrus to it, like a, you know, lemon or something like that. But I feel like the acidity from this parsley, the mustard, and it's gonna be beautiful. And what we're gonna do is kind of make a little bit of a roux to this. So we add butter, English mustard, which is a little bit vinegary, a little bit more vinegary, a little more spicy. It's got a nice bite to it. And then we're gonna add a little bit of flour to thicken it up once this cools down. This is a little hot, so if I put it in now, it's gonna basically make flour dumplings. Put a little in the middle. All right, so then we're gonna turn the heat back on a little bit. We're gonna dump in all of our parsley, really incorporate that up. And then the last little bit is just gonna add a touch of water. You can add some fish stock if you want, or whatever kind of chicken stock or whatever, but we kind of have the scallopy goodness to it already. So that scallop flavor will kind of give it that seafood flavor. So we're not gonna add any stock, but we are gonna thicken this up a little bit. Oh, yeah. Looks like the liquor. Liquor, hardly even know her. A little salt. Pepper. We got crispy prosciutto. Look at how crispy it is. You can literally just like crunch it up. Tastes very prosciutto-y, very salty, but it's almost got this like bacon crispness to it. So we'll just crunch this up real fast. Put a little bit of the liquor down first. Ready? All right, look at that. And we're gonna put a little bit of polenta right in there. Yep. And this is that roasted jalapeno polenta. It's gonna be so stinking good. Scallops. Oh my chickens, it's gonna be so pretty. And a dollop. Plating is so much fun. This is where the artistry comes. This is just so much fun to try and do things like this. A little bit of the crispy prosciutto. Forget that, forget trying to make it organized and neat. Oh, it's like prosciutto dust, you guys. So there we go. That is a Chef Pat creation. Seared scallop with crispy prosciutto, roasted jalapeno polenta with a little bit of a bastard liquored parsley sauce. Scallops cooked perfect, right around medium rare, which is what I like. I'll get a little bit of everything. This is one of those dishes where you gotta have a little bite of everything. The sauce, the polenta, scallop, jalapeno. Hey! Oh my God, that's so good. The scallops are cooked perfectly, super juicy, super tender. You get a lot of the sweet cream from the polenta, like a savory, crispy saltiness from the prosciutto, get a little heat from the jalapeno, and the acidity from the liquor sauce. I mean, it balances all out. This is a perfectly balanced plate, dude. This is a great little appetizer. I'm impressed with myself. I'm gonna do this again. Wow, that's really good. That's the fun of cooking. You get an idea for something, you have an idea for something else, kind of mix them all together, and then you get something new. This is a very unique dish, and I really like the way it came out. Proud of us, meatheads. Proud of you. Proud of you for sticking with us so long. I guess that wraps it up for another special bonus episode. Keep your eyes peeled because the Cookin Meat Season 1 DVD is going to be hitting stores everywhere real soon. Relive all your favorite moments from Season 1, like when I finger banged that pig's head, when I solved all those race relations, my perfect Keanu Reeves and Forrest Gump impression. All right, meatheads, that's it. We'll see you for Season 2. Can we please go eat lobster and drink beer now, Ricky, please?